Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machain La'ira online smicha. You know, when a young girl turns 12, she becomes a bas mitzvah. A boy, it's 13, he becomes a bar mitzvah. And the Rebbe, in one of his talks, the Rebbe once said, just like there's a discussion in Svarim, which is the first mitzvah, a bar mitzvah becomes mechuyev, whether it's Kriya Shema or Ivdu Es Hashem B'Simcha. Perhaps that's why the first Mishnah in Mishnah starts with the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. The Rebbe in one of the talks says, and he's talking to girls who are becoming bas mitzvah, that it's customary that in the day of the bas mitzvah you give extra tzedakah. And the Rebbe says the first mitzvah that a girl can do easily as she enters mechuyeves mitzvahs is the mitzvah of tzedakah. You don't have to have any serious preparation for it, like a minyan and a tilas yadayim. All you need is a penny or a nickel, and with that you're able to fulfill the mitzvah. So right away, start off with a bang and do the first possible mitzvah. Now that's when, as I mentioned before, a girl becomes mechuyeves b'mitzvahs at 12, and a boy at 13. There is a famous discussion in halacha. The Ramah in Arachaim Siman Reish Chav Hey Siv Beis writes that when a boy turns 13, the minhag is that the father says the bracha Baruch Shepatrani Ba'oina Shel Hazeh. And then there's different explanations what that bracha means. But the Magen Avram says that the father makes the bracha saying, until now, as I'm training my son, being mechanach my son to do Torah mitzvahs, if I didn't do a good job and something went wrong, the father gets blamed. The father, Rahman al-Than, gets punished for the sins of the son. Once the son reaches a 13-year-old, he's on his own. So the father basically says, Baruch Shepatrani, I'm off this responsibility. The Levush actually turns it around. He says, it's not that the father is released from the sins of the son, it's the other way around. Meaning, usually the Gemara tells us that there is some sins, Rahman al-Islam, that a mature parent may do, and the punishment will be given to his children, Rahman al-Islam. So until a child turns bar chiyuva, a bar mitzvah or bas mitzvah, he might get punished, Rahman al-Islam, for the sins of his parents, of his father. But once the kid becomes a bar or bas mitzvah, now they're on their own. There's no reason to punish them for what their father did. And according to the Levush, the pshat is that the father is basically saying, thank God nobody's getting punished anymore because of me, because now they're on their own. So the Pri Megadim, when he sees this machlokes in the pshat of this bracha, and Pri Megadim over there in Reish Chav Hey, and Eshel Avram Sifkat and Hey, asks, I understand, according to the Magen Avram shot in the bracha, I understand why you don't make the bracha only by a bar mitzvah. You don't say it also by a bas mitzvah, because we don't find that a son, that there's a mitzvah of chinuch. So therefore, if the son doesn't do the right thing, the father will get punished. But being that there's no mitzvah of chinuch by a daughter, we don't find anywhere that daughters get punished on the father's sins. So that's why you might not say Baruch Shepatrani for a bas mitzvah. But according to the Levush, where the children get punished for their father's sins, Rahman al-Islam, then that doesn't say that only applies to the boys. That could, Rahman al-Islam, even apply to a daughter. So why would that bracha not be said to a bas mitzvah? This is the question the Pri Megadim asks. The Kaf HaChaim in Sifkat and Tezvav says a phenomenal answer. He says, listen, there's a difference between a young boy and a young girl. A young boy turning by mitzvah, he's not only spiritually now on his own, but usually they're mature enough and they're there to take care of themselves. A girl, even though that spiritually she's now mechuyeves b'mitzvahs, but the derech ha'olam is that the daughter still gets supported by her father until they get married. So in other words, there is a responsibility gashmistic responsibility that the father still has over the daughter until she gets married. So therefore, because he's supporting her, he still has the right to rebuke her and set her straight for all her mischiefs, or there is some kind of connection between the two. So he doesn't get exempt until she gets married, and once she gets married, then now she's in the rishus of her husband. But therefore it says, according to the Levush, that the bar mitzvah got punished, that the bar mitzvah boy got punished for the father's sins. So pshat is that the daughter wouldn't get punished, because even though she's out of even though she's a mechuyeves b'mitzvahs, and she's still under the father's help and support, but nevertheless she has the mazel of her husband, which her future husband, because men hashemayim, they were already machriz bas pliny lepliny, so the mazel of the future husband would protect her from the bas mitzvah on, that she won't get punished for her father's sins. And that's why, says the Kaf HaChaim, that's why we don't take the bracha by bas mitzvah.